So are you one of those golfers who gets over their shots, particularly with their irons, and feels that you swing within yourself, and you've got some decent accuracy on the shot, and the ball's nice and straight, and you feel there's a nice strike there, but the ball's only going 131 yards through the air, swinging at nearly 80 mile an hour, but not a great deal of ball speed at 96.5. Smash factor's down at 1.21. And you're kind of aware that even though there I'm hitting ball and then ground, the ball's maybe a little bit on the high side, but you know swinging quicker is going to help you hit the ball further. So what you understand as well is if you're swinging within yourself, maybe making a 3/4 backswing, if you could increase the length of your swing, the club's got longer to travel and therefore will hit the ball further. And as you build that into your golf swing, what actually happens is you really lose your strike, lose your distance, and you're in that dilemma. Well, by the end of today's video, I'm going to show you how you can actually use a shorter backswing to strike the ball better than ever and hit the ball longer than before. So I know what you're thinking. That sounds great, because when I'm shorter with my backswing, I feel I've got more control, so that should help me with the strike. But how am I going to hit the ball further? Well, when we look at the current best player in the world, Jon Rahm, an awful lot made about the fact that in the backswing, Jon doesn't get the club back to parallel, that he's quite short, but what we notice with him is a nice big shoulder turn, even though the arm swing isn't particularly long. And I think that's the mistake a lot of club golfers make, is the body turns, but to get the club back to parallel, they lift the arms and we lose the width of the swing. So the first thing I'm going to get you to practice is, where do we think the optimum length backswing is for you, and you can run through this with me, of how far back we're going to swing. So what we're ideally looking for is, as we swing back, we're looking for a distance where we can maintain the distance from our sternum to our hands, not artificially doing it, but certainly where we get back, where we don't need to go any further or that distance gets smaller. So I think a great way is hold the club out in front of you and literally just swing back and feel where that is, and then lean forward. So we can see, for me, hands get to about shoulder height. So the first thing I would do is, and there's a few steps to run through, I would actually hit a few shots just practicing getting back to that distance and just see initially what that creates for you. So we're going to set up, swing back. For me, so my hands get to about shoulder height. And again, felt solid, if not absolutely flushed. I've suddenly moved the low point a little bit further forward. The ball's launched lower, some good club head speed, and the ball speed's up to 110 and the smash factor up to 131. But my carry straight away up to 150 mile an hour. Now I know what you're thinking. Maybe I just need to work on that first step for a while. And for a lot of you, it might take a little bit of time to get used to. Like I said, focus on where you're getting back to, where you maintain that width and make the swing. And again, a really nice strike. Club head speed very consistent. 5.4 inches ahead, 156. Now I know in other comments I've done before, launch angle down at 15.5 degrees. A lot of golfers saying, is that not too low? Well, let me just show you on TrackMan's optimizer software that with a 7-iron at 30.5 degrees like I'm using, what a good launch angle actually is. Right, so we can actually see there for a mid-trajectory, 30.5 degrees 7-iron, I should be launching the ball between kind of 12.5 and just over 15.5, so absolutely perfect on that launch angle. Right, so straight away, feeling shorter there, maybe channeling your inner Jon Rahm, we've started to see a little bit of a pickup in both strike, trajectory, and distance. Now, what's the next little step we can build into that? Well, I think a great feeling for most golfers is once they get back to that position, what we should be able to feel from there is that we can really drive into that lead leg, and as we push down, then what we want to feel is that that lead hip moves up and behind, so very much gets that body turning out the way a little bit quicker, pushing into the ground, and this is potentially where we get that extra little jump in club head speed, maintaining that loft, maintaining that strike, and hitting the ball further. And this is very much what the best players in the world are doing. So have a little swing, feeling like the arms stay in front to shoulder height, drive down into that lead leg, onto that left side, and then push back and up. And it almost creates that little bit of a whip effect through the bottom. So the last shot I hit there was 83.2 mile an hour club head speed. Let's see when we introduce using the ground and our lower body a little bit better, if we see a little jump. So I felt better. So suddenly low point, 4.8 inches ahead. Club head speeds jumped to just under 88 mile an hour. Ball speed up at 120. Launching a smidge higher at 17.4, but 166 yards carry. So we're starting to really pick up some serious yardage here with potentially a swing that actually feels more controlled, but also more powerful. And I'll be honest, I spend a lot of time practicing this, and even though I can get a little bit further back, it's so small the pickup in the extra length of backswing. I do sometimes wonder whether this might even be a good thing for me to continue with. So let's get there. Hands back, and like I said, if you're not sure again where you are, upright, there we go, lean forward. I've got a nice big shoulder turn, but I'm not letting those arms go behind me and get me in trouble, but equally I'm not just lifting my arms up. I'm turning my body back and then driving down into that lead foot. So let's go again. What was I there? 87.6. Okay, not quite as good a strike, but 88.4. Ball speed still around that 120. Launch a little bit lower, a little bit thin that strike, but 169 carry. Now I know this is a powerful lofted 7-iron, but it's all relevant to whatever club you're using. I know a lot of guys worry that when you de-lofting it, does it mean that some of the longer irons become an issue? In my opinion, most golfers shouldn't be having 3 and 4 irons in the bag. It's where the lofted fairway woods and hybrids really come in. But the key for me is a nice repeatable golf swing that allows you to strike the ball consistently well, with a consistent speed, consistent loft, good control on where the club face is pointing, and that way you hit good distance shots with good accuracy. So let's have one final one. Even with that shorter backswing, let's see that from there, by driving into that lead foot, pushing that left hip back behind me, let's see if I can get to 90 mile an hour. Feel nice and athletic. Felt solid. 88.6. Ball speed 121. 167.5 carry and 176 total. So guys, hopefully there, if we're trying to hit the ball a little bit further and be more accurate with the golf ball, because there's no point in hitting it further if you're wider and wider. I absolutely agree with that. But like I said at the start, so many golfers try and lengthen that backswing and they start losing that width. Then they've got to find the width back at the bottom and they become more and more inconsistent and actually don't swing the club as quickly because they're trying to do it all with the arms, not from the ground up. So find where your optimum length backswing is, lean forward to get a feel. Once we're here, we're going to drive down into that lead foot, push into the floor. Once we're here, get that hip moving out of the way, get that whip effect through, crush the ball, and absolutely hit the ball longer and straighter than before. So remember guys, sometimes you don't need your backswing to be longer. Actually being shorter and then being more efficient can help you hit the best shots you've ever hit. So work on that shorter backswing, learn how to create the power in the right way, and really hit lots and lots of good shots. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's another video just there that hopefully will help you with your game. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.